sounds real loud.
Okay, I would like to call the date, the July 10th Plan Commission meeting to order. Roll call, Jeremy?
Jerry Wells.
Here.
Kendra Zumig.
Here.
Angie Claycamp.
Here.
Ryan Terrell.
Here.
Rick Slybaum.
Here.
Don Bruce.
Here.
Dave Eggers.
Present.
Dave Early.
Here.
Jason Kleber. Bernie Hausberger. Shell Parker.
Here.
Okay, are there any corrections to the previous meeting minutes? Anybody? No?
Make a motion to approve as written. Second.
Okay, all in approval, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, first case.
First case tonight's PCM 4-26. Luther Community Home are the petitioners. Petitioners are requesting to rezone the property at 1405 South Walnut Street. The properties are 216 Church Avenue, 105, 108, 109, 200, 201 West Cardinal. They are currently R1 and they're wanting to rezone to R3 for future development.
Is the petitioner here? Okay. Come up and tell us your name, please, and
Introduce yourself so we get it for the record.
Hi, Karen Fleetwood, Executive Director at Lutheran Community Home. Back in May of 2019, we rezoned all of our properties to R3, and these are the properties we've purchased since. The one that we're going to be developing hopefully soon is 200 West Cardinal. It's a vacant lot next to our maintenance garage, and it would be, we call them garden homes, but it's a duplex. So the intent for all of those properties are to expand our independent living settings. So.
okay. Is there anybody, excuse me, here to speak in favor? Anybody opposed? No. Okay. Questions by the commission?
I just have one. What about the people who are living there now? They tend to be older. Moving under any circumstances is difficult. This is going to be really bad for the older people there.
Mm-hmm. We have two that are vacant properties that we plan to develop at this point. So the others are rentals. So we do not, it's our policy, we don't displace people. So as properties became available, we would consider construction. But right now it's just the one vacant lot.
They're all voluntary sold to you. You don't have eminent domain, correct?
What do you mean?
You don't use eminent domain. You don't have eminent domain to force people to sell their property.
No. It's just when they've come available for sale, we've purchased.
All voluntarily sold to you.
Yes. And both of the ones that are vacant, the homes were in disrepair, so we just demolished the homes that were there. So they've been vacant for a while.
Okay. Any other questions? No? Deliberative session? Nothing? Okay. Anything else you'd like to say? No? Okay, we'll vote at this time.
It has been approved. 9-0. So it will be forwarded to City Council with a favorable recommendation. And do you have a date?
Unfortunately, we're past the deadline, I think, for this upcoming council meeting, so that would be heard on July 28th in this room at 7 p.m.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You don't have to stick around if you don't want, so.
Okay.
You're probably ready to go to supper or something.
Thanks for that.
See you guys.
So the next case tonight is BZA 020-25. Roseacre Farms are the petitioners. Petitioners want a land use variance at 1000 East County Road 560 North. They want to have a food processing facility along with a research and development facility.
Petitioner?
Good evening. Wes Spray with Roseacre Farms. As Jeremy said, we're requesting a land use variance to construct a food products processing facility with research and development on that property that's currently zoned C3. This facility will be considered other industrial under the commercial zoning, which would require conditional use. The research and development is currently permitted under the C3. When we rezoned this property earlier, I think there was some resistance on moving up to the I-2, so we dropped it back to C3. So that's why we're requesting this variance, or this land use variance for that facility. So that way the whole property is going to stay at C3 and not open it up to any industrial uses under the industrial zoning context. So we'll be bringing in shell and liquid egg for further processing in the retail products. There'll be 15 to 30 employees expected for this production. It'll handle food ingredients that our facility, Egg Life in northern Indiana, cannot at this time. Truck traffic will be minimal, 2 to 3 trucks per day for the 2 pilot lines that we're going to install that are proposed. No wastewater lagoons. I've been in contact with the wastewater treatment plant in Heath over there about pre-treatment if needed and discharge limits on our wastewater for that. We're continuing to gather data on our wastewater and we'll determine treatment if necessary at that time. Any questions?
I do. Is this the same place that we're going to have a truck maintenance shop?
Yep, so this has been put on the front burner,
Okay,
but that's still planned, yes.
okay. Now, did the neighbors' information have to go to them because of it already being here once?
Yeah, everybody's still got
Okay.
notified. Anytime you apply for
I didn't know
land
if,
use or rezone, everybody gets notified.
okay.
So it was a brand new notification.
Okay. Anybody here to speak in favor? Speak against? No? Okay. Questions? Any more questions?
Is the processing being done elsewhere and you're just gonna bring it here, or is it?
No, so we'll bring the egg to this facility and
Or are you currently doing it now somewhere else?
we've got a plant in northern Indiana that does a similar type of thing, yes. Oh, and then I want to also say again, no chickens and no manure at this facility.
I'm sorry, would you
No,
say that
no
again?
chickens and no manure at this facility.
Okay.
I don't have a question, just a statement. Wes and I had talked this over. Some of you are probably going, why the variance over a rezone? And Wes said it probably best too, but if you rezone it to I-2, manure would be allowed at this facility. Roseacre certainly, speaking for Wes, I don't think wants to have that there, so they opted for the variance, so you guys can put some restrictions maybe on that, you know, with your, it's whatever you ladies and gentlemen think, but, you know, that might be a restriction. I would say no manure at the facility if we approve this. So I think that's why they're doing the variance over I-2. I-2 opens it up to quite a bit, and I don't think that they need all that, so they certainly
Including
want to go
outside
to I-2
storage,
because
so your
of
I-2
the reason.
would include outside storage as well.
Yeah, if you
Continue
rezone
to
to
see
I-2 and then they decided, well, we can do that in this. So that's kind of the reason as well.
Not that we're black-eyeing Roseacre, but, you know.
Sure,
No, so I'm with Jeremy, and I agree that I get the best move, but moving forward with the variance, we would need to, I think, stipulate a couple things. You know, the limitations of any live animals, the limitations of, you know, the manure, the outside storage things and things like that. and just give variance to strictly how it is listed, to do the research and development on the product that they're wanting to produce. Is that
I think that's fair.
So does that list need to be made tonight, or is that something that gets made before it goes into like
So
acceptance?
what we do, Kendra, is we would go forward with a motion stipulating those parameters in that variance, so that would travel with that variance, which would go to Rose Acres. So there would always be that stipulation to give us, the city, the authority to monitor and to make sure those were not violated. So we would have that. If we give them an open variance for that, then it doesn't really, there's no stipulations to that. So we need to classify that, I think.
Yeah, so for the boards, that this is a recommendation to BZA. BZA holds the power on this, but someone could make the motion with these stipulations. We give that to BZA and say, hey, it goes with a favorable or unfavorable, whatever you decide tonight, to BZA with these recommendations.
Based on this.
Then the BZA will have to look at it too and go, well, we like that or we don't like that. So they have the final say, so it's a recommendation to the BZA tonight. Just wanted to make that clear.
Yeah,
We don't do this
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
every day in here, so.
I get it, yeah. Kendra, you got any questions? You look a little perplexed.
I don't, I have a million questions, but I don't have anything that's going to need answered right now.
Okay, all right.
Okay,
That's all I have.
final summary, anything else?
I had one more question. Have you did any site work where, how much retention ponds?
So, we did for the shop, and I think that's at your office, I think, for approval now.
Bernie probably has.
Yeah, Bernie's
That
got it.
goes to the engineer.
But not for this facility yet, no. We want to make sure we get the approval first, and then we can start working on that.
Retention ponds are one of those
Sure.
necessary evils, you know?
Sure. We've got an idea where it would go. It'd be probably in the, I think Jonathan Isaacs had it up in the northeast corner of that property, in that low spot that's there already, so. But you're talking stormwater retention, right? Not, yes. No wastewater retention.
Okay, we'll vote at this time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well.
Jerry, we need to.
Did somebody want to speak?
Oh, make a motion.
Put the stipulation.
Oh, sorry.
I'll make a motion that we approve with the notion of the no manure, no live chickens, and no outside storage.
I think that's encompassing enough, I would say. Like I said, for that recommendation, right?
No live animals instead of chickens.
Oh, live animals.
Yeah, just that part of it.
Need a second.
And I will say, I think you said no outside storage. There are, I don't know, Wes, you could, there are outside storage for even C3, so I don't know if that's a fair, they're gonna probably.
One that you listed.
It was one, but I meant for the stipulation of not having piles of live manure outside storing that in those type of facilities. But
Okay.
You know, even
C3
commercial
categorization
has-
on its own allows for certain outside storage, but not,
To say no outside storage, I think
Okay.
it's a little unfair.
Okay.
that would be, yeah, no, the chicken manure is the thing.
Okay.
And the live animals is the thing, really, so.
Okay, so I rescind my information about the outside storage and just the no manure or live chickens, or no, live animals.
Second. Okay.
Okay.
Chris, are we good here?
That'll work.
All right.
And depending on what the BZA does, if they keep stipulations, we'll make sure that that's in the final written findings.
Sure. Yep.
Thank you.
It'll be passed on to BZA with a favorable recommendation with those stipulations.
Okay, anything else, Jeremy, on the agenda?
I got nothing.
Okay.
Just for my notes, what was the vote on that?
9-0.
Thanks. Thank you.
In favor of.
Appreciate it.
Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Everybody in favor say aye.
Aye.
Yay.